This is the KickPi. This is a Google certified streaming box from Tanix. That's right, you heard me, Tanix. I recently did a review on another box. It was this guy right here. This is the TX5, and I really liked it. It had lots of nice cool inputs. I liked the remote control. I found it to be a very well built streaming box. However, when I compared it with the ONN box, a lot of people don't like that. There's a lot of loyal fans to this box. I kind of understand where they're coming from, but I have an obligation to compare this box with other streaming boxes to see how well they perform. And I really like the performance of the Tanix. It did really well on the benchmark tests. The fact that I can get a Google certified box and a non-Google certified box from the same company, that's pretty rare. That's something you don't see every day. And I found that kind of interesting, and I'm sure you do too. So if you'd like to see how this one performs, and we might even do a little bit of comparison against the ONN box, well, keep watching because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So today we're talking about the KickPi, and we're going to look at this box. We're going to take a look at the specifications of it. We're going to see how it compares against the TX5, if I'm going to like it more or less, and how well does it do against something like the ONN box from Walmart. So let's go to the downward shot. We're going to take this out of the box and see what you get in the box. So this is it. This is the KickPi. It's a Google TV. This is a Google certified box. It's got the Google logos all over it. So that's one good indication that it is Google certified. Has Dolby audio. There's the network, Bluetooth 5.0. And on this side here, and I'm just going to zoom in a bit. So let's zoom in to see what you get. And so it's an Android 12. An HDMI micro USB, which is very similar to this guy right here because this uses a micro USB for power. 2 gigabytes of DDR RAM. Doesn't say if it's DDR3, DDR4, DDR5, does not say that. 8 gigabytes of storage. It's 4K, remote control, power adapter, quick guide, HDMI extension cable. So that means if you can't plug it directly into your TV, if there's some interference with the back plating, that sort of thing, you can still plug it in using the extension, because I found that to be an issue on my TV personally when you're hooking them in that way. So on this side here, it's got your YouTube Music, Netflix, Prime Video. So this is a certified box for these particular apps. And that is something that some people want because they already have those subscriptions and it's going to be useful for them. It's got Google Cast, and that again means it's a Google certified box. So a lot of the other ones will have what they call Miracast. And it's got some other accessories. We're going to take a look at the remote control too, because this is the Tanix remote control. This is what it looks like. And this is the ONN remote control, and this is what it looks like. So it's got ONN written right on it too. And we're going to compare that. I'd like to compare the feel of it with those remote controls. So we're just going to zoom out a little bit here. Zoom out a little bit there. Okay, so let's just get this out of the box. There we go. Take it out. I already took off the plastic wrap. It had plastic wrap on it. Oops. And it's already destroying it. So you can tell that I've never taken this out yet. Oops, I really broke that. Okay, and there it is. So you got your KickPi. Similar to Roku a little bit, the way this is. And there's remote control. And instructions. Extender. That'll come in handy. And what else do we got? Oh, look at this. How about that? Look, power. It actually comes with a power adapter instead of just a plug. And there's the micro USB. Okay. So we'll be able to plug that in, and don't eat that. All right. On the instructions, just a quick setup guide. Just kind of tells you what's going on, where to plug it in, router, remote control. And I'm guessing it is a Bluetooth remote control. Here's all the video decoding. So it looks like it covers pretty much everything. Covers all the different video formats. Uses 5 watts. 5 watts, how about that, eh? Okay. And here, over here, it's got a declaration. So this is a, they're saying this is a Google certified device as well. We'll be able to check that out in the menu. Inspected and passed. Good news. Glad I didn't fail. All right. Wow, there is a lot of similarities between these two remote controls, wouldn't you say? Other than the colors, they look pretty much identical with the exception of Prime Video is over here, Disney, Paramount on the ONN box, Prime Video, and music on this one. This has got two, like I like the pre-programmed functions of this one better because I'd rather have Prime Video. A lot of people have Prime Video rather than Disney and Paramount, but I guess it's your preference, right? But all of the other buttons are exactly the same. So should this be really, is this an ONN box disguised as a Tanix? We don't know. A lot of the specifications look pretty close. There we are. Okay. And there is your extender. So what I meant was is that if sometimes when you're going to plug these into a TV, you can have a physical barrier trying to slot it into a TV if it has a piece of plastic in the way or the TV doesn't allow this to sit flat. So the fact that they include this extender makes it more flexible. Now you can just plug it in any way you want and you're okay. And there is where the USB-C goes. Pretty interesting, I must say. So, we're going to test this out. I wonder, did I take off the batteries on this one? Yes, I did. So, this is the Tanix TX5 remote. You've got Netflix and YouTube. And I'm actually going to check something here. They feel identical. Yep. They feel identical. Just the colors on the ring are different. Colors here are different. This is noisier. The ONN one's noisier. The settings button is a little different. Here's your microphone. Everything's in the same place. If I took these apart, I bet you I'd find the same components. Very similar. Okay. Just keep that in mind. If you're knocking this box, if you knock Tanix, you're probably knocking ONN because it looks like they're using the same components. So if you're a fan of the ONN box, you should be a fan of Tanix boxes too. Okay. So this one is oval and this one is a little slimmer. And I bet you they have the same components. Now, I think that looks like a reset hole. And I wonder if, yep, they've got the same thing on the ONN box there too. There's a power button. Is there a power button on this one? No, it's good. Actually, that's not a reset hole, but this is a reset hole over here. This hole, not too sure. I'm guessing it's another microphone hole. But keep in mind, before you say, oh, there's something nefarious at work, this is a Google certified box. Okay, so I've got to do some testing. I'm going to play with this thing for a while, and I'm going to let you know what I think of it. And then I'm going to hook it up to my video switcher, and I'm going to show you what it can do as well. But I've got to put in my Wi-Fi and all that other stuff, and we don't need to go through all of that with you. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to also check out the performance of it, and I'm going to see what things I can do to it, if I can do anything interesting with this. Okay, so I have been playing around with the KickPi, and I wanted to show you, what my thoughts were on its Google certification. So we're going to go to one of the main screens because I've set it up and I've got it running through the video switcher now, and I'm just going to give you an example of one of the screens. So it did behave a lot like a regular Google certified box. It had the little bouncing balls, the little things that bounce back and forth when you set up a normal Google certified box. And it behaved the same exact way. So that indicated to me in a very strong way that this is a Google certified box. So I'm going to show you one of the screens. Okay, so here is an example of one of the screens. As you're hooking it up, you can set it up with multiple profiles. And I'm just going to say go to Google TV because I wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you the other screens too, but unfortunately I did not get my audio in there, so I lost a little bit of audio. And I've also got to make sure that I have the volume down on this because I don't want the volume to interfere. Plus, we don't want to get copyright infringement. So as you can see here, it looks a lot like a Google TV box, and it behaves like one too. And all of this looks the same as my Sony TV. And we're also going to go ahead and I'm going to, I should be on YouTube here. It should already know my profile because I added a lot of that in there. And there we go. So actually that's my live stream right there. So I have a live stream channel and it talk about all the latest tech news. That's me. I have a ticker on there, and every day it is updated with the latest in tech news. So if you're curious about that, well, check that one out. Right now I'm doing a lot of investigation on the brand new DJI Osmo Pocket 4 coming out. So, and but this is YouTube, and it looks like it is behaving just like regular YouTube. So we've got all kinds of things there. I'm just going to go back to the home screen. If I click on home, and I'm going to activate my other downward shot just so you can see what buttons I'm clicking. So we can go there. I can go hit the major home button, and we can go into Tubi. Will it load Tubi? Yeah, it'll download it. There we go. So you can put Tubi on there if you want to, and that'll work. It's a free app, and you just have to put up with the commercials. If you don't like commercials, well, you're going to have to buy subscriptions. And we're going to check out some Prime Video and things like that because I do subscribe to Prime Video. And it's a little slower on the install. Some of my other boxes, they will install apps a lot quicker than this, but it is behaving a lot like a Google certified box. And I'm going to get into the settings too. So after we download this, because this is taking a while, and it should be activating Tubi now. There you go. Okay, so there's your Tubi. And it looks like it's behaving the same way. If I click on this. So let's just go over here. And all of these are certified, so we don't need to worry about that. Let me just click on this. Whoops, wrong one. I want to go to Prime Video. And I have an account with them, so we should be able to log in okay. And there we go. All right. And what does it look like when you play a movie? We don't have any volume, so I just want to make sure that the volume is down. And how fast does it play? Oh, better put myself on the screen here. There we go. So right now it's loading a movie. And there we go. Now, I signed in, so I shouldn't be seeing any commercials, but I would imagine I can skip these. Yeah, I can skip them. So even though I pay for no commercials, guess what? I still get commercials. Now, if I step ahead, let's just see if I zip ahead a bit. There we go. And okay, it's playing. Okay, so it plays. Good. I'm not going to stay on them. We're going to go to the home screen and Netflix. I don't belong to Netflix. I gave up on them a long time ago. But we can check out the settings. And all right, so let's go to System, About, System Update, checking for updates. Oh, there's a newer version. So we got to do that. I want you to see what you're going to get as soon as you hook it up. You're going to hook it up. It's going to say, well, you got to do an update. You're going to go through the same exact thing as what I'm doing. And by the way, when I got the ONN box, I had to go through the same exact stuff. So to say that the ONN didn't do this, well, that would be a lie, because you have to do the same thing with it too. And it's about the same speed too. Now, I would hook this up to 3D Mark and do a bench test on this. However, it does not have a micro SD input, and it also only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. So you need 4 gigabytes of RAM to do certain testing. This one does not have 4 gigabytes of RAM. It only has 2 gigabytes of RAM, so I cannot test it the same way I did the TX5. But the TX5 did really, really well. It was a very, very snappy little box, and I was quite impressed with it. But it does not go through all of these Google screens that this one does. So now we have to restart it. And there we go. So it's starting Google TV. And this is how it started the first time I plugged it in too. So now I just want to go back to me real quick. I'm not saying that this is Tanix's fault. To me, this is a Google fault, because this behaves a lot like every Google certified box. When you go through their updates, they go through this painfully slow process of updating. And I've noticed that AOSP boxes do not go through that long of a process. It's a lot faster. Now we're back on the main screen and we're running with our brand new update. So it must have been a security feature. I'm going to go back to my settings again, and it actually made me regret doing the update, I'll tell you that right now. But we have to go back to system settings and go to about, oh wait a minute, that was date and time, wrong one. About, living room, factory reset, legal information. Okay, I'm going to take me off the screen. Android 14. Okay, so it was an Android 12 box. It said Android 12 on the box. So let me just go back to the downward shot here. So right here, it says Android 12. We're going to zoom in. Android 12. So now we're running Android 14, which is a much newer version. So what if we went into developer options, Android 14, OS build, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm a developer. Here, and then we should have some, there we go, developer options. And then you can go in there and change a few things. Just want to see if it will allow me to download. Can I download unknown apps? Wow. It is not giving me the option of downloading unknown apps. Security, play and protect, improve harmful app protection. I know you have to turn this off. And I'm just going to say downloader. Downloader. Okay, so there's downloader. This is the one. Will it allow me, let me just do this, to install it. Okay. Okay, and then let me see if I remember this correct. So I can install downloader, but I can't really use downloader. If you wanted to know, now you know. I did it for you. Okay, so I've installed downloader, but I can't really get past downloader because as soon as I try to accept or move on, it'll block me with that little white bar and I can't do anything. But for me, it'd just be a lot easier just to go with this box here. So that's all I'm saying. So here's the video that I did on the Tanix TX5. So let's see if it'll play this one. There we go. That's the Tanix TX5. And it looks pretty good. The picture quality is good. I can't complain about that. I've got everything going on there, so that's no complaints. So because this is not an AOSP box, instead of comparing it with the TX5, which would not be a fair comparison, I think this box performs better. I'm going to compare it with the ONN box. So let's hook up that box and see what happens. Okay, so now we're booting up the ONN box. And I'm going to switch remotes. And because it's a Bluetooth remote, oh look, it's booting up the same way. You know, if you could get one of these cheaper, I would say go with the KickPi. Same amount of RAM, probably a similar processor. Loading error. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's a little more jittery. Interesting. Now, does this one have... Oh, this one doesn't have the live TV. This one appears to be a little slower. So this is the update your remote. An update for your remote control is ready to be installed. Press the home for more. Oh great, another update. All right. Hopefully this won't be too painful. Oh my God, with these updates. All right. Why we needed to update a remote control? I have no idea. Okay, so I'm not seeing any live TV. Yep. So this is the ONN box, just so you know. Looks identical, except I was able to go into the developer options and put on FlixVision. So I just want to see if it'll activate now or if they took it off. I'm going to exit right back out of it if it does. No, it's there. Okay. So you can't do that with the KickPi. You can do that with this one, but I want to see what version of Android we have. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. Okay, system about model Android 12. Okay, so Android 12 and the KickPi has Android 14. It started with Android 12. Now here's the thing, is there going to be, I wonder if there's going to be an update. And check for update. Your system is up to date. Okay. Okay, so this one only goes to Android 12. So be aware of that. Go back to the home screen. Now, because I'm just going to go back to me. So because I have sideloaded this box, it is no longer a secure device, meaning that apps like FlixVision and those type of sideloaded apps, they will compromise the security of your device. So some people were laughing because they're like, this one has malware on it. What do you mean it has malware? And it's because some of the apps that come with all of these free movies, there's consequences to that. Nothing in life is free. I was only demonstrating that if you sideload these boxes with certain apps that people say, oh, they're free, they're not really free. They're trying to find out your personal information. But I take measures in blocking them from getting that information, and a lot of people don't, and that is the problem. So if you're the type of person that already has subscriptions and you don't mind doing that, then this is going to work just fine for you. As a matter of fact, after it does its updates and everything, it's going to work just fine. So part of the video is for informational and educational purposes only. So I do not condone the breaking of any laws. I was merely just showing you the difference between one box and another box. Both of these boxes are Google certified, but clearly one is behaving in a more secure manner, even after I access the developer options. So would I recommend the KickPi from Tanix? Well, if you're the type of person that pays for subscriptions, then yes, it's going to work out just fine for you. If you're the type of person that wants to do sideloading, you're going to have a very difficult time doing that on this device. So if you do like to do that, then I would recommend the AOSP version from Tanix, the TX5. It's got lots of nice inputs on it. It's got Ethernet jacks. It's got a micro SD card slot. It's got everything. So I really like this one. Does it cost more money? Yeah, but I think it's a decent box. It also has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and I believe it has 64 gigabytes of ROM. So I'll put the spec in the corner just to make sure that I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. Would I recommend the KickPi over the ONN box? Well, it all depends what you're doing with the ONN box. So if you're using the ONN box and you're trying to do the same thing as you are with the TX5, I would pick the TX5 over the ONN box. I know there's a lot of people yelling at their TV screen saying, no, I would not do that. I like this one better. Well, then I'm happy for you. But me personally, I would pick this one over this one. If I wanted to do sideloading on this one, well, then this one is going to beat out this one. However, I do think that this box here was a little less jittery when I was doing the screen scrolling than the ONN box. So maybe it's just because it's brand new, I don't know, but it felt like it was a little bit snappier than this guy. So if you're just using this one for subscriptions, then maybe you should consider this one. It seemed like it was a little bit better. It's running Android 14, and maybe that's the reason. So that's it for this video. I would really like to thank Tanix for sending out the KickPi. It's a very interesting little stick. I am going to be using it on my other TV, of course. I have other TVs, and I'm going to be using it on those devices because it is a newer version of Android, and it looks like a newer version of Google TV that I can put on my other TV that I have in my bedroom here. Now, I have tested many streaming boxes, and I think that they all have their unique pros and cons about them, but and this one is no different. It was running a little bit cooler, I noticed, than some of the other boxes. So, you know, to me it kind of reminds me of a Roku, the way it's designed and everything. And I do like this little extension cable. I may even use this for something else. So in conclusion, the fact that Tanix has Google certified boxes and non-Google certified boxes tells me that they're a well-rounded company. The fact that these guys can do one or the other is kind of interesting. So on that note, take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.